Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you see from the title, Battle of the Belts 3 with a Smackdown impression. Hopefully I can spell impression. Alright, I will talk about Battle of the Belts 3, there's not a lot there, and then I'll talk about my impressions of Smackdown. I know I could leave that for another video, but why not? Let's just do this. I'm hoping to do a triple threat tomorrow, maybe. Because I have not done one in a while, and I've been wanting to watch some more wrestling other than AEW Impact and a little bit of WWE, but I've been busy. But anyway, TNT Title Match, which is Jay Lethal versus Wardlow. It wasn't a bad match. No one's saying that both of them do bad matches. They were fine. But here was the thing. Satnam Singh. Once you see Wardlow win the match, and Satnam comes in and basically squashes him with his foot. His foot is about this wide. It's on his chest. And then you see Wardlow trying to push it off. That's just setting up for them to have a match. Now, many people are going to probably say, oh my gosh, please no. They would not have Satnam Singh go up against Wardlow, and in the end, Wardlow loses. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not. Satnam is way too green for them to be stupid enough to put the title on him. When it came to Jade Cargill, you could see that she was more better prepared. We wondered if she was good enough. And she is green, but seeing a green Jade Cargill compared to a green Satnam Singh is different. She's here. He's here. He's not ready. So if it does happen, there's going to be a match. Hopefully, it will not be for the title for Satnam Singh. And Tony Khan not crazy enough to do it. Now, this is where it gets a little difficult for me, because when you look at the ROH World Title match versus the Women's AEW title match, both of them were good. But the question is, which one was less botchy? That's for me personally. When it came to Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter, I gotta say this about Jamie Hayter. I really do like her music. There's something about her music I really do like. Now, do I like her personally as a pro wrestler? She's not bad, but to be honest, as it stands, she's been with Britt Baker for a long time and hasn't really gone anywhere. I'm sorry. If you like her, there's no problem with that. But seeing where she's been for the last year and a half, she needs a change. She needs to either have a feud with Britt Baker so she can break off on her own, or they need to give her a title. They need to give her something. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Unless she wins the ROH title from Mercedes Martinez, the only other title she can go after, because I doubt they're going to let Jay drop it yet, will be the main title, which she just went after, and she lost. Now, the match was pretty good. It was a couple of botches in between. Particularly when Thunder Rosa did her helo, and she landed really high on Jamie Hayter's head. She wasn't here. She wasn't here. She was like here. She was around this area. And that's not something wrestlers really like, because that's a little too high, and particularly if you're on the ground, even with mats. The whack to the head, you saw Jamie holding her head. She might have been dazed. I'm not saying that she's concussed. I hope she's not. But when a wrestler doesn't aim for here, directly in the midsection, that is where they must aim. Unless you're a much more smaller opponent doing that, and as a big person, man or woman, and they can grab you or not get too injured by you, when you're both the same size, that's when you must be in the middle. Here, this is where my hands are. Not here, here, somewhere around the chest area to the stomach where you can brace yourself the best. That didn't happen with Jamie. It was right around here, between here to here, where Thunder Rosa landed, and she took a hard hit to the floor. Now, I'm not saying she wasn't supposed to lose, but she looked legitimately dazed for quite a couple of minutes until she got her footing. And Thunder Rosa won. No, I'm not surprised. Now, the question is going to be, who's next for Thunder Rosa? There's not that many women they got. Yes, you could say Athena, but Athena is supposed to work with Jade, which now she's not, due to the fact that she's now having a match with Madison Rayne. So maybe Athena would be the best person to deal with a Thunder Rosa unless it's going to be Chris Statlander, which we barely seen her go up against her. But I'm just saying. Final match. That is the ROH World Heavyweight title. And that is Claudio Castagnoli versus a Kateska. I can't remember how to pronounce the guy's first name. I'm still trying to get Kateska proper. I'm bad with names. I was bad with names as a kid. I'm still bad with names as an old ass man. I can never get names right unless I know you really well and I remember your name. I box the hell out of that damn thing. But was this a better match than the women? Well, it's pretty much on par to me because, like I said, both matches had some botching. When you look at Kateska, he was botching a bit. There was, when he was supposed to do pretty much do a body slam, he literally botched a little bit. When he was supposed to take Claudio and nail him straight onto the turnbuckle because he did a forward body slam, but instead of just letting him fall straight, he was up on the top turnbuckle sitting there, and he's trying to position Claudio properly so he would land straight onto the turnbuckle, but he landed crooked. So I'm hoping Claudio's all right because he could have whacked his head on those ropes, and those ropes are solid metal. Remember, those are steel cables. They're not ropes. They're steel cables. Those things will hurt if you're banging into them just right. They will hurt a lot. So I'm hoping Claudio's all right. He acted a little stunned himself as well. And there were a few other positions where I think Claudio messed up maybe once due to Kateska had messed up a little bit. So he was trying to compensate. So it was a little bit of a mess. So I say both matches were on par. Now, I'm glad Claudio won because Claudio still should win as the Ring of Honor champion. I don't think they should drop it to anyone and let them keep it for a while. But as I said before, what are they doing with ROH? Guys, I know Tony Khan already said, I am not going to make it a developmental. I am going to make this and going to put it on a TV show. And I've heard one person that was in the comments, I'm hoping that he can put it on Saturday at 6:05. That's kind of the WCW or WCCW time slot. Just to mess with people. Honestly, at this point, you have 5 shows, guys. 5 shows. Unfocused 5 shows. You got Dynamite, Rampage, the original Dark, the Next Elevation, and now Ring of Honor that's not even there yet. Supposing he's going to try and put it on the network. Instead of focusing on 3 shows, about to do 4, 3 shows, say to people, we are retiring temporarily Dark, and we're getting rid of Elevation. Why not? Retire Dark. Retire it. And then, well, temporarily retire it. And get rid of Elevation. And just put ROH on YouTube. You don't even have to say it's a developmental. If you can't find a network to put it on, why not put it on YouTube until then? Look what happened with NWA. NWA had no TV deal yet. But they managed to get a TV deal eventually, working with Fight. And yes, it's not the perfect one, but at least they show people their product weekly. They showed they got something, and it made people care. Remember, before the pandemic, they were getting almost 200,000 to 300,000, well, between 100 to 300,000 views, depending on what they were doing. That was 100 to 300,000 before the damn pandemic destroyed them. That's what happened with them. If there was no pandemic, they would have kept going, and then they would have transitioned to a more better network than they got over in Atlanta, Georgia. I think they would have had a better chance to get a better network if the pandemic hadn't hit, and then they had to scale down so heavily, and then Billy Corgan had to scale back, and then the Me Too movement for the women in pro wrestling, where there's not talking about men as well, where they should be. There have been men who have been fucked over in the business just like women. What, you think men don't have to suck dick too? They do stuff. What, you think they don't happen? But I'm just saying. I really do believe that Ring of Honor should go on YouTube temporarily and then transition off of it onto mainline TV. There's no way people wouldn't watch it. They got their own damn channel. Just turn off Elevation. just stop the channel. Then temporarily stop any uploads to Dark. Say it's temporarily going on hiatus. We're not uploading anything. It's just going to be All H. We want to focus on 3 shows. All H, Dynamite, Rampage. Focus. He's got too many things going on. Now, my impressions of Smackdown. I did watch the majority of Smackdown because I was trying to make sure I had enough time to see it and to do this review. I didn't realize that it wasn't going to be 2 hours. That's just me. But I did see most of the show. I saw the beginning and most of the middle and the ending part when it came to Killer Cross or Karrion Kross. I wanted to see that. Now, of course, I could watch the Gauntlet, and I do know that... Oops! Ow! That hurt. That happens when you got something open. Anyway, I didn't know that Shayna Baszler did win the Gauntlet match. I didn't watch the Gauntlet. I skipped it. I'm probably going to go back and see it maybe tomorrow before I check out NWA and maybe try to take a look at OVW and maybe MLW. I've not seen it for weeks, unfortunately, guys. I'm sorry. But did the product look different? Yes, it did. When it came to Happy Corbin, he wrestled differently. When it came to Ricochet, he wrestled differently. You could see that the wrestlers are acting different. Hearing them talk about the NXT championships before is actually a good thing. It's good to see they're now trying to be more cohesive since Vince is not there. I have heard reports that a lot of wrestlers don't believe Vince is gone permanently. They believe that this could just be a setup and pretty much Vince will be back. Whether he comes back or not is irrelevant. To me, it's irrelevant. I'm still not watching the product on a constant basis. Anybody else, if you're watching it, if you're really liking it, good for you. If you're untrusting, you think the WWE is bullshit, that's you. Me, I'm just waiting to see how it develops until I feel comfortable enough to start watching. Now, I have been considering what I want to do. And what I thought is this. If I'm going to watch the product, maybe once a week, I will rotate through each individual show. Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. Maybe 1 week I'll look at Raw, 1 week I'll look at NXT, and 1 week I'll look at SmackDown. Now, that also means I'm going to have to try and keep up with all 3 shows, but I probably won't. I'll probably get the highlights from the shows, so I'll understand what's going on. That probably will be the best option for me, so I can at least get a good idea of how the overall product is going. I will not look at main event, but I will still check out the pay-per-views and still do reviews of them. And if I feel comfortable about it, I probably will pick one show to focus on only. Either Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. I don't know which one. I don't know, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rotate through the shows, look at them each. Try to see if I can get the highlights. Still do the pay-per-views. But if I feel comfortable enough that I really do think the product has changed quite a lot, I'm going to just pick one show and just review that. Now, unless something happens about the other 2, then I'll do a video on it. But other than that, that's what I'm going to do. And I hope you enjoyed this Zane View. Please give me... I keep saying Zane View when it doesn't exist anyway. I don't know. That's when I first started. This channel was called Zane's View. If you guys don't know, when I first started this channel, I called it Zane's View, not I Am the Zane. I called it Zane's View. So, right now, I just do it out of habit. Hope you don't mind. Peace.